Hello everyone, Mark. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing some work on my Jeep. I've got a 1996 Jeep Cherokee Sport. It's a very good condition. It's all original except for one little issue that happened to it. On the passenger side fender on the front had to be replaced. Wasn't me. Or Diane. It wasn't me or Diane. So anyway, I bought this Jeep back in 2015, I think it was. It's 2022 now. So when I bought it off a guy in Fort Lauderdale. It was on eBay. It had 98,000 miles, or no, 89,000 miles on it. And he said he got it from the people that owned it. They had had it for 10 years. They were snowbirds. They would come down in the wintertime to Florida, and this was the vehicle they would drive. They kept it in the garage down here all the time. And so basically, they told him in 10 years they only put 10,000 miles on it. So, I mean, it was like new. It had a few little door dings in it, but other than that, the thing's like new. Interior was like new, and it runs like new. It was just a very nice Jeep. I love this model Jeep. I like the squared off, boxy looking Jeep. I didn't like when they started rounding them off, and I think that was in the late 90s. They started rounding them off and making them more, I guess, aerodynamic. I don't know. But I think that's part of the reason why I like the C3 Corvettes. I like the sharp edges. I don't like rounded off stuff. I mean, they have curves to them and stuff, but they have the sharp edges, you know, the tail fin that comes up on the back and the front bumper coming to a point, things like that. I just like that on vehicles. I don't know why. So anyway, we've had it since 2015. It just turned over 125,000 miles. I need to change the oil in it now. Since we bought this property up here in Dunellen, Diane's been driving it back and forth, and so she's putting a lot of miles on it. And before that, I mean, geez, I could go a year without putting 5,000 miles on it, you know. And now we're putting, you know, 1,000 miles a month on it. So it's racking up pretty quick. But I need to change the oil. And the other day I went to get in it, and I noticed the door handle. I'll show you here. I'm kind of anal about stuff like this. I mean, it still works fine, and there's no reason to replace it, but the door handle here, you can see, let me pull the key up. Okay. See how this is kind of, it doesn't spring back, but it's still spring loaded. The springs and the latch itself are working fine. So the latch is working fine. It's not a safety issue or anything. It's more of a cosmetic thing. There's a spring right in this handle, and it just keeps the handle tight so it doesn't sit there and rattle. Well, for some reason that spring broke. I guess when you get to be as old as this Jeep is and things break. I don't know if you can really see down in there, but you can kind of see the end of the spring right at the end of my finger back in there, and it's broken off. You can't buy just a spring. You can't buy just this piece with the spring. You have to buy this whole assembly, and it's used. I don't even know if they sell them new anymore. I went on eBay. I've been looking probably for the last 2 or 3 months for one, and one finally came on, and I bought it. You can see this, again, this car is in very nice shape. It's filthy right now. I need to wash it and vacuum it out, but you can see the chrome looks brand new on this. There's no pitting or anything. There's dirt there. Rubs right off. But the one I bought, it's got a little bit of pitting in here, and it just bugs the heck out of me, but you can't really take this apart and swap parts around. It's kind of riveted when it's in there. It'd be a lot of work to get it apart and then to get it back together and make it, you know, work properly. It's not worth the trouble. So I'm gonna put up with a little bit of pitting there. It kills me. This is my baby. So anyway, today what I want to do, I want to change this out. Basically, it's this whole big black piece. These are all one piece. Take 3 screws out, and it pulls out. And then there's a rod that hooks to this button for the lock, and one to this for the latch. So it should be fairly easy to get in and out. The other thing I wanted to work on, I don't think I'll get around to it today. It's been like this ever since I bought the Jeep. The door closers here, I don't know why. I've taken these apart and cleaned them and everything, but I don't know if you can hear this, how loud it's going to be, but you hear how it pops. It almost sounds like you're you know, like you're flexing a piece of metal till it cracks and it's popping back and forth. But that's, I'll show you I bought new ones. I actually were able to get reproduction new ones for those. But what it's doing is, see here. You can see this as it pops across these little notches. It's snapping really bad, and I don't know why it's doing that. This is the third Jeep I've had like this, and the other ones didn't do it. So I don't know what's going on there. Like I said, I took them apart and cleaned them and everything. I couldn't really see why they were doing that. One thing I did notice, I put a 1/4-inch bolt in here because one of the pins fell out and disappeared. It was like a roll pin. I put a 1/4-inch bolt in here, and it does have a little bit of play, and I don't know if that, like, when it starts pulling, it pops and push, you know, because it's so sloppy it makes noise. I don't know. So I'm going to try to tighten up the pins on this end when I put the new ones in, and see if between that and putting new pieces in, it gets rid of that popping sound. It just drives me crazy. Again, it doesn't hurt anything. It's been that way forever, at least as long as I've owned the vehicle. This side isn't quite as loud. Well, I guess maybe it is now. It never used to be quite as loud, but I don't know why it's doing that. But you can kind of see, again, it's kind of dark here on our wedge. I don't know if you can see how much that bolt's kind of moving back and forth and stuff. So what I might have to do is, that's a 1/4-inch bolt. I might have to go with like a metric bolt, or clean that hole up and put, you know, a 5/16 bolt in or something so it's tight. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And then changing the oil, I use 10W30 oil. This is Napa premium oil. It's not synthetic or anything. I don't think the car's ever had synthetic in it. So I'm just keeping it just standard oil. It takes about a little over 6 quarts, including the filter, to fill it. So I had to get 2 jugs, and I keep another jug around just in case once in a while I got to top it off or something between oil changes, but normally I don't have to do that. And then I got the Napa Gold filter to change the oil. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll get the camera set down here, and then I'll get started on it, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, so I've got the oil draining on the car right now, and while it's doing that, I'm going to switch out this door handle. So I'm going to take the screws out of it first. There should be 3 screws holding it in there. And then there's little pins on this end of it that go behind the door panel, and that kind of holds this end in place. And then you got another screw here. So you should have to pull out on this end, and it should slip forward a little bit. I'm not sure how much play I'm going to have pulling it out with those rods. So we'll see how easy this is to switch those rods out. I'm hoping there'll be enough play in it that'll be easy to do. There's not a whole lot of play. This could be kind of tricky. Snap the bottom one first. My only concern is I do them and they fall down inside the door, and I got to take the whole door apart. I don't really want to do that today. I got some other things I need to be worrying about than this thing. So that's nice. The bad thing is too, you got to turn it towards this piece. Okay, so that bottom one should come off once I take this top one out. Top one moves. There we go. Okay. Now comes the fun part, pulling these out. I do not want to drop those rods. Let me get a pair of pliers. I normally take my vehicles to a friend of mine's got a shop, but he's down in St. Cloud and I'm up here in Dunellen. So I usually take them there to for oil changes. But since I'm having to do all this, I decided to go ahead and do my own oil this time. Dang it, I don't want to lose the. I'm afraid if I pop that out of there, it's going to drop down in the Okay, keep our fingers crossed here. Okay, so there you go. That one's out. These two rods, this one's for the door latch, this is for the lock. And I'm afraid if I let go of them, it falls down that door. I'm going to take the whole door apart, and I don't want to do that. I guess the good thing about if I did, I would be able to do these latches on the side, because I got to take this door panel off to do those, and I'm not really wanting to do that today. I really wish they could have gave me just a little bit more room to do this. Like I said, if that drops down in there, I'm done. Need about 12 hands and tiny hands. I got big hands. Okay, I got the bottom one in, but I don't know if I can get. Get it locked on there with those vice grips in the way. And I don't think I can get these scribes. Maybe at least that way I can't lose it. Now, if I take the vice grips off this bottom one, okay, I got the bottom one in, so that's good. Now, if I can get the top one in that easily, we'll be good to go. Okay, is it going in? It doesn't help, I can't see what I'm doing. It's right there, it should go in. Oh, I see what the problem is. I'm hitting with the vice grips. There we go. Okay. Now comes the fun part of getting it latched without losing it. Okay. Gods are smiling on us today. Maybe. Okay. Whew. I'll tell you what. I was going to bet even money that I would drop that down in there and take the whole door apart, but I lucked out. So and it really bugs me. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's got a scratch here. And I know they did that when they took that screw out because it's a fresh scratch. And I think, oh, dang it. My other one didn't have a scratch on there, and this chrome little thing was really nice. But there's no good way to switch that out. This piece is kind of adhesive in there, and it's such thin aluminum. If you try to get it out, I think you'd mend it all up and make it look worse than what that does. So I might take the old standby, and I might take a Sharpie and see if I can touch that up a little bit. Matter of fact, let me try that. As a police officer, we would have vehicle inspections twice a year, and our squad cars are black, and I would go around the car with a Sharpie, and any little scratch like this, you just kind of touch it up. And it didn't match perfect, but it's one of those things where if you don't know it's there, most people wouldn't know it was there. So it just makes the car look a lot better. And a month later, it's worn off and the scratch is back, but at least you pass inspection. So, okay. So that's that. And you can see how it's staying tight now. It's not flopping. Looks like everything works. So I don't know if I can show you in this old one. Yeah, you can see how right there at the top of the spring, by my top of my thumb there, you can see how it's kind of sharp and jagged. There's a little flat piece that went against. You can see the rust mark on the plastic right there above my thumb, where the other end of that spring hit against there and kept that latch closed, but unfortunately it broke off. Again, it's fixed. So on to finishing the oil change. Well, I got the oil filter off finally. Unfortunately, I'll make a mess here. Unfortunately, I can't find my oil filter socket. I've got a set of them somewhere, and since we moved up here, I don't know what I did with them. So where this is at on the motor, it's not really easy to get to on the Jeep. I'll show you here when I put the new one on. But I was able to get some big channel locks on it, and I could move it about a quarter of a turn, and this thing was tight as all get up. Even at a quarter of a turn, I still couldn't turn anymore, and I finally had to take my trusty dusty universal pry bar screwdriver and back scratcher, drive it down into the filter, and I was able to turn it and finally get it enough where I could spin it the rest of the way out by hand. It was, and I know these things get tight over time. You put them on by hand and they get tight in there and they're hard to lose. This thing, it was in there too tight to begin with, I guarantee you. This rubber gasket is flattened completely down to the metal. There's no reason to put it on that tight. I think it tells you on here, yeah, once you pull it up to where it touches, you go with 3/4 of a turn and that's it. It compresses that rubber enough that it'll seal, it'll stay on there until next time you take it off. And even then it might be a little bit tough. You might not be able to turn it by hand, but you get a channel locks or something on it a little bit and turn it just a little bit and it'll come right off. You shouldn't have to. Even after I got it to move that much, it still wouldn't move by hand. I had to take a screwdriver here and hit it on this lip and keep hitting it until it turned about not that far, and it would come loose. I mean, it was way too tight. Same with my drain plug. Whoever changed oil on this last time, I think they used an impact wrench on that drain plug. I mean, it was so tight I couldn't hardly get it loose. I thought for sure it'd be stripped out when I got it off, but it seemed okay. But you don't have to, over torque this stuff. I mean, you strip that pan out, and it's fixable, but it's not easy to fix. So keep that in mind when you're doing this stuff. Follow the instructions, and you don't have to get rammy with this stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be that tight, and it just makes it harder to get off the next time, especially on this Jeep. I'll get the new filter put in there and I'll show you, because right now if I show you it's dark down in there, you probably won't be able to really tell where it goes. So let me get the new filter put in. This is a new filter. You always want to take a little bit of oil and put on this gasket when you put it on there. Again, you screw it in until the rubber touches and you go about 3/4 turn more. And you can do that by hand. You don't need a wrench to put it on. You definitely don't want to use a wrench to put it on. If you do, you'll never get it off. But and that's plenty tight enough to hold it on there, and it won't leak, it won't come loose. and hopefully when you go to change your oil again next time, it'll come off halfway easy. So, well, you can kind of see on this 4.0 in the Jeep, the oil filter is back. You know, here's the distributor here. It's back here underneath, and I think this is oil sending unit right there. It looks like it screws into the housing where the filter goes on. So that tells you if you're low. That tells you your oil pressure. Again, there's a flange that this screws against. Make sure take something and wipe that off really good. Make sure there's no debris or any lint from your rag or anything on it. Wipe it off really good. And normally there's a little bit of oil running out of the motor right there when you take the filter off. So as that comes off, you can take your finger and just run a little bead of oil from the engine right around that flange too. And you put oil on the gasket, on the filter. And then if this was like a small block Chevy where the filter screws in from the bottom, you can actually fill the filter with oil and screw it on there. And that way it doesn't have to fill that up to start pumping oil through the engine. On this one, because it lays at an angle, there's really no point trying to put oil in it. It's such a small filter, I'll crank it over a little bit, you know, try to hit, you know, before it fires, and it'll usually fill up with oil before it fires. And then as soon as it fires up, you'll see your gauge come up. So shouldn't be a problem on this, and it's already pre-lubed, you know. I mean, this is a daily driver pretty much. So it's not like it's a brand new engine that you want to, you know, put a driver on your distributor, or take your distributor out and put a driver down there on the oil pump gear and pre-prime the engine or anything. I mean, it's got plenty of oil in it, so it's not going to hurt it for that brief second that it has to take to fill in that filter. But just keep that in mind if you're, you know, doing oil change. If it is a filter, especially on small block Chevys, they're twice as big as this filter is. So it will take a little bit more to fill them. So if you can fill them and screw them on without the oil running out, that's definitely a good idea. So I've got the filter on. I've got my drain plug back in. That's really important. Make sure you always put your drain plug back in. And okay, that's the oil pressure gauge at the top. I'm going to crank it over a little bit. Start it right up, and I'll see in just a second. See how the oil pressure came right up? So we've got good oil pressure. That's about normal for this, about 40 pounds, and it's cold. So I'm going to let it run for just a second. I'm going to get outside and check, make sure there's no leaks. Hear that popping on that door, it drives me crazy. Okay, nothing leaking there. I made a mess under here. I didn't have the pan all the way underneath where the oil filter was, and you see the oil I spilled all over the floor. So it looks like I got a leak, but I don't. I don't see anything coming out of the drain plug or where the filter is. So we're good there. So okay, so I double checked. I have no leaks or anything. Make sure you put the filler cap back in after you put the oil in. I've heard of people doing that before. And just kind of look the engine over. I usually go and I check all my fluids. I just topped off my windshield washer fluid. I checked my coolant. It's fine. The brakes are fine. My power steering fluid's good. So all my fluids are good under the hood. Kind of check your belts, you know, just normal things. And just kind of look around, make sure there's nothing weird going on, that you got bolts loose or, you know, anything out of place, or, you know, a dead squirrel wrapped around your fan or something like that. But everything looks pretty good here. The only thing I didn't do is change the air filter, and I meant to do that today, and I went to Napa and I completely forgot about getting a filter. So last time I checked it, it was pretty clean. I usually keep up on that, so I'm not too worried about it this time. But definitely next time I do the oil, it will definitely get changed, and I will check it in between then. Usually at least once a month, I like to bring it in, clean the whole vehicle off, make sure everything looks good, and then top everything off again and check for any loose fittings or you know, worn parts or anything like that. So just a good idea to keep an eye on it. So I think that's about it as far as the Jeep. Let me see if I can switch this around. Okay, I kind of wanted to talk about something. I made a video a while back and I completely forgot about following up on it. It was a video I was on hold with Eckler Corvette parts in over by Titusville, Florida, and I'd been trying to get a hold of them to check on. I had a couple of parts orders with them, and I wasn't getting anything and nothing. And every time I'd call, I'd be on hold until either one time my phone went dead, so I had to hang up. Other time I had to go to work, so I had to hang up. And this last time I was here at my shop, and I was working on the Corvette, and I decided I was going to leave my phone on hold and see how long it would take before they answered me. So I started that video that day, and I told everybody that that's what I was doing. And I said, I actually did the whole video because I can clip my phone to my belt, and then it plays through my hearing aids. So I don't need to hold it up my ear and listen to it being on hold for 3 hours, but so I can do it on my belt, and if they answer, I can talk to them. So I wasn't worried about missing the call. So I went ahead and I did the video that day. I don't even remember what the video was about. It was doing something on the Corvette. And I got done, and I think at that point I'd been on hold for like 2.5 hours. And I just said at the video, I said, my next video, I'll let you know how long I was on hold, and I completely forgot about it. I've done a few videos since then. And a reader or a subscriber reminded me that I never did say how long I was on hold, so I want to do that today. Anyway, I stayed on hold. I was on hold for exactly 3 hours, and I was getting so frustrated, I hung up. And what happens is when you call Eckler's, it's automated phone system. So if you want parts, you press 1. If you want customer service, you press 2. So that's what I had pressed. That's what I'd been pressing. I've been on hold forever. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna call them back, and I'm gonna press 1 for parts and see how quick they respond. Since I'm wanting to buy something, I'm not wanting to complain or check on something. I'm actually asking to buy parts. And I was on hold for probably about 3 minutes, and someone answered the line and asked me if they could help me. And so I told him what was going on. I said, I'm not needing parts. I just want to check on my parts. And I said, please, please, please do not put me. He says, well, I'll connect you with customer service. I said, no. I said, and I told him what had happened. And I said, please do not connect me with them. Please give me somebody else or something where I don't have to sit on hold for 3 hours and get frustrated and hang up. He goes, okay. And he said, I got to put you on hold. And he put me on hold. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, I realized what he did, because when you're on hold for parts, the commercials and music they play is different than the music they play when you're on customer service. And when he put me on hold, I thought, God, that sounds like customer service music. And I thought, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. No, after about 15, 20 minutes, same stuff playing over and over again. And I knew what he did. He didn't care about me as a customer because I wasn't wanting to buy something. He just wanted to get me out of his hair. So he transferred me back to customer service, knowing I begged him not to do that. And again, I don't fault him. I don't know what they're telling their people to do, or if they even know what their people are doing. I don't know. But when I told him, when I first talked to him, I said, what's going on over there? I said, I can't get through to anybody. He goes, well, the problem is we went from having 80 people answering the phone to 8 people in customer service. So he said it takes a while. So I completely understand that. I really do. But I still don't think it's a good way to treat your customers. I spent a lot of money with them over the years, and I'm by no far their best customer or spent the most money as anybody there. But when I had my own business, I don't care if you're bringing in a $5 job for me to do. You're just as important as a guy bringing in a $100,000 job for me to do. And I treated, or at least I tried to treat every customer like they were the most important customer to me. And that's good customer service. And granted, yeah, they're short-staffed right now, but what they need to do is, I called, if you call Citrus County for something and they put you on hold, they will tell you you're 7th in line or you're 10th in line or whatever. And every so many minutes they'll say, okay, now if you're 10th before, okay, you're 9th now or something. So you kind of understand, or you kind of know how much longer you'll be on the phone. When they just put you on hold, you don't know how long you're going to be. And after 3 hours, I felt like there's no way I'm going to get a response. So I just hung up. But again, anyway, that's what happened with Eckler's and everything. And needless to say, I never did talk to anybody in customer service. I never did get it resolved. And the funny thing is, finally after, I'm trying to think how long that was. I'd ordered that part, I believe it was in September that I was checking on. I was checking on it in November. And I finally got it like mid-December. And the sad thing is, I went ahead and ordered it. It was my oil pressure gauge. I went ahead and ordered it from Wilcox. They had it in stock, and I had it within a week. So, a funny note, after I was so frustrated with Eckler's that day, I got a phone with them, and I called Wilcox, and it rang like twice, and a human being answered the phone. And I said, I said, oh my God, I cannot believe a human answered this phone. And he hung up on me. I think he thought I was a prank phone call. And I called him right back real quick, and I said, please don't hang up on me. I said, and I explained to him what had happened. He didn't seem amused. He still seemed like I'd irritated him. But anyway, I got my part from them, and I pretty much gave up on Eckler's. I thought if I ever see the part, I see it. If I don't care. And sure enough, about mid-December or so, it showed up at my door. So I have an extra oil pressure gauge for a 71 Corvette if anybody's needing it. I guarantee I can ship it out a lot quicker than Eckler's. So anyway, this wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed me messing around with the Jeep, and I hope I was able to show a little bit of what to do on them. And if you have any questions or suggestions or anything, please let me know in the comments down below. Likes or dislikes. Like I say, if you enjoy our videos, please hit the like and subscribe, and share them with a friend. And I appreciate you guys sticking with us. We started out, it hasn't been quite a year yet. We've had our channel, and my goal is to grow it to a good channel to where we have a lot of good content on it, and we can have fun with people, and maybe teach a little bit, and bring a little humor too. I'm a little confused on our videos, because some videos I do that I think, man, we'll have a lot of views on it, we won't get anything. And other videos I think, well, I just did it because I wanted to do a video of what I was doing, excuse me, and we'll have a lot of views on it. So if you guys have any subjects or anything you'd like me to cover, or do a video on, please let me know. I've been a machinist most of my life, and I really thought machine videos would be a high view type of video, and so far they've been my lowest viewed videos. And it was kind of funny, I did which if you go back and look at my earlier videos, I did a video explaining on a Dodge Dart dash that I was going to do some videos machining parts for that dash for different gauges and stuff for this guy. He was restoring a car. And then I think it was 3 more videos, because there were 3 different parts I had to do for that dash. I did 3 more videos, and the video I shot explaining what I was going to do has gotten more views than the videos of me actually doing the work. So I don't know. It kind of surprised me. I don't understand that. I thought what I was doing was interesting. It was to me anyway. I love doing machine work, but maybe I need to stay away from machine videos. I don't know. There's a lot of other channels out there that cover machine videos that do a really good job, and maybe I need to leave it to them and stick with working on Corvettes. But if you have any suggestions or anything, please let me know. I'd be more than glad to try to do what I can to supply good content to our channel. I mean, that's my goal, and have fun along the way. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.
Clipboard thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Action.
What are we saying?
Take 275.
We just wanted to say Happy New Year. We love you guys and wish you were here.
Miss you.
Hey, Julie, Diane, Greg.
I hear
Hope,
it's
hope you're
17
staying
degrees
warm up there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're not
is it
freezing
17
your butts
degrees?
off.
Let's start over. I've talked all over you.
Oh, I was talking over you.
Okay.
I think
We
we
gotta
both
start
talked
over?
over each other, right?
Huh?
We're gonna start over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Well, you
We
can
can do it
always
several
edit
times
it.
and I can edit
Can't
out.
you?
Yeah, he can fix it.
Yeah.
I thought that one was a good take. Take. That's a good
That's
one.
it, cut.
Cut.
Hello,
We're not
goodbye.
gonna sound any smarter later. I don't know what you're talking about. This is probably the
It
best
took us-
take you're gonna
I
get.
bet it took us 30 minutes to do a video. We had Jim and Mary here and everybody here and so many takes just to say,
Merry
I don't
Christmas.
even remember what we said.
Thank
Hi, Sue,
Barbie,
Barbie
and
and
Sarah.
Sarah or something like that. And that's all we said, but yet it
A
took
shout out.
Oh.
Shout out to Barbie and Sarah.
Yeah.
And
So shout out to Barbie and Sarah.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
We've got so many people to shout out to. How do we list
Where are you
them
gonna,
all?
who's getting this? Who are you gonna send this to?
This is going on YouTube.
So everybody in the world could
This,
see this.
I'll put this on at the end of my next video. It'll just be, I don't know if you've seen that one I did when I said hi to Julia. She freaked her out. I almost forgot to say it. And
You know, my luck, this will go viral.
This will be the one
yeah,
that goes
they'll be doing little music things to it.
it's like a wedding dance again.
Cut. He said a cut. He said a cut. Cut.
Can you set this to music?
Hammer,
Sometimes
scissors,
they do.
paper,
Does
paper.
There you go.
And Patrick.
that sign language?
There he
My
is.
brain itches.
You're bad. You're
Come
bad.
here, kid.
Come here, kid. Get in
God,
there.
there's so much
Which
talent.
take is it again?
What a waste
Oh,
of
well,
talent.
it's
73, but
3,000
we're ready
before
for
People
you.
get paid for
Looks
this.
like an alligator.
Yeah.
We need an alligator in the
Was
picture. Come on.
Peyton gonna sit in the middle of the table? Or
Yeah.
where's he
You know,
going?
he's gonna sit on your
He
lap.
can be right with you.
He can-
too.
Come here, bud. We're gonna.
We're about to squish.
I know you
the
haven't
Pat's
met
gonna
Julia
squish
yet.
it.
There you
It's gonna
go.
hurt
I
your
can
leg.
stand
Say
it.
Happy New
Oh,
Year.
you
Perfect.
can't. You
It's
won't
gonna
fit in
hurt
the
his
picture.
squish your
Look
leg.
at him.
Oh,
He's getting
geez.
all ready.
Oh, it's a Happy New Year, kid.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sit on Grandpa's lap.
Wait, it's too much green there. Green and green. You can't
That's
even
okay.
tell.
I
He'll
don't know if
blend
he's
in.
in it. You might have to sit over and
Mark's favorite
Okay, so
color.
let me scooch over on my knee.
There we go.
Okay,
Oh.
perfect.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Who's gonna talk? Are you
Nobody
gonna
be
talk?
bashful. Get with it.
Take 47 minutes.
I'm an only child. I don't know what
Hey,
to do.
Julia, Diane, and Greg. We're all
Happy
here to
New
say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope you had a
This is
good
New Year's
Christmas
Day.
and New Year, and I hope you're not freezing to death up there. We're freezing down here. It's like 80 degrees. So.
Yeah.